The year is 1901. Off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera, a group of sponge divers accidentally discovers an ancient Roman shipwreck. They recover priceless treasures from the wreck, including marble and bronze statues. But among these treasures is a green, corroded lump of metal, initially dismissed as just a rock. Months later, when this lump accidentally broke apart in a museum, an incredible secret was revealed from within: dozens of complex miniature bronze gears. This was no simple tool. This was an unbelievably advanced mechanism that sank to the bottom of the ocean 2,000 years ago. This is the story of the Antikythera Mechanism, the ancient world's first analog computer, whose very existence seemed impossible. What did this machine do? And how could such technology be completely erased from the pages of history for thousands of years? The story began when a sponge diver named Elias Stadiatis surfaced, claiming he had seen rotting horses and men 45 meters deep in the sea. What he had seen was a shipwreck filled with ancient statues. With the support of the Greek government, the first major underwater archaeological excavation in history began. The artifacts recovered were breathtaking, but among them, that formless piece of metal was cast aside. That is, until 1902, when archaeologist Valerios Stais noticed at the National Archaeological Museum in Athens that this lump had cracked and split on its own. From inside the fragment, perfectly crafted bronze gears, reminiscent of a clock's mechanism, were visible. When Stais suggested it might be an ancient astronomical clock, the scientific community laughed at him. According to the belief at the time, it was impossible for the ancient Greeks and Romans to possess such complex mechanical technology. And so, this strange object was left forgotten in the museum's storage for decades. The mystery began to unravel in the 1950s, when historian Derek J. de Sola Price rediscovered this forgotten object. Price studied the mechanism for 20 years and became convinced that it was an incredibly complex scientific calculator, with technology 1,000 years ahead of its time. His paper, published in 1974, announced the secrets of the mechanism to the world. However, the lack of adequate technology prevented a full understanding of how it worked. The real revolution happened in the 21st century. As part of the Antikythera Mechanism research project, custom-designed 3D X-ray and tomography scanners were used. These machines could see beneath the corrosion, revealing all the gears, inscriptions, and hidden details within the 82 separate fragments. Using this digital data, scientists were able to create a complete digital model of the mechanism, as if assembling the pieces of a 2,000-year-old jigsaw puzzle. And the result was beyond anyone's imagination. The Antikythera Mechanism was a device of at least 30 precision bronze gears, housed in a wooden box. When a handle on the side was turned, these gears moved, tracking an incredible array of cosmic events. The front dial had pointers for the sun and moon, showing their position against the zodiac constellations. It even modeled the movements of the 5 known planets of the time: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. This was shocking proof of how the Greeks could calculate the complex orbits of the planets. But the real magic was on the back. The upper spiral dial could predict lunar and solar eclipses with incredible accuracy, using the 223-month Saros cycle. The lower dial tracked the 4-year cycle of major athletic events in ancient Greece, including the Olympic Games. This was not just an astronomical tool, but a multi-purpose analog computer that also tracked social and cultural events. Such mechanical complexity would not be seen again in Europe until the emergence of cathedral clocks in the 14th century. So, who could have built this machine 1,000 years ahead of its time? The prime suspect is the greatest inventor of the ancient world, Archimedes. The Roman orator Cicero, writing in the 1st century BC, mentions that Archimedes had constructed 2 mechanisms that modeled the motions of the celestial sphere. The complex gear structure of the mechanism aligns with the genius of Archimedes. Perhaps this was a model built by Archimedes himself or by someone from his school. Another strong possibility is the island of Rhodes, which was a major center for astronomy and engineering at the time the ship sank. Hipparchus, considered the greatest astronomer of the ancient world, lived and worked on Rhodes. His knowledge of planetary motion and eclipse cycles was essential to build this machine. Perhaps it was made by Hipparchus or one of his followers, like Posidonius, and was being transported as a gift to an important Roman when it went down with the ship. The Antikythera Mechanism not only shows us how advanced the ancient world was, but it also serves as a bitter reminder of how much knowledge we have lost. If this technology had not been lost, could the scientific revolution have begun much earlier instead of after a 1,000-year dark age? This small, corroded box represents a what-if that could have changed the course of history. It is not just a mechanism, but a symbol of lost knowledge, forgotten genius, and the countless other secrets still lying in the depths of the sea.